Through the Steering Wheel with James Walton. I'm your host. Look, guys, I wanted to talk to you about something I want to do in an effort to provide you with more content, because there's only so many hours in the day, to be honest, and I pride my time. I'm not one of these guys, and I know maybe it's not a fad, but I know it's always been a thing, right? To be one of these guys that works day and night. You know, you wake up and you work day and night every day, your whole life, 7 days a week. I don't want to be that guy. You know, that doesn't seem very rewarding for me. So rather than that, I'm figuring out ways that I can be more efficient with my regular work day and get you more content. You know, more articles, more videos, more shows, that type of thing. Now, one thing that I see a lot of is something that I'm definitely guilty of, which is these deep philosophical moments, right, that are recorded or broadcast in some way or another. You know, I love it. I think it's great, but I also think there's a lot of people doing it. There's probably a lot of people doing it better than I can. So in the shower this morning, I was thinking to myself, what could I do that would provide value to the I Am Liberty community? You know, what could I do that will really provide some value to the I Am Liberty community? What could I bring them? And I started to think back to the golden age, the golden age of I Am Liberty, which was, God, almost 6 years ago now when I first started the show. And one of the things I used to do, because for those of you who don't know, when I started this show, I had no idea about anything having to do with preparedness. I literally took a job, a broadcasting job, not even a job, so I wasn't getting paid, but I took a broadcasting opportunity up just because one of the broadcasters at Prepper Podcast was they were looking for a host. Interested in being a host? You think you could be a host? Do you have an interesting show topic? And my whole deal with I Am Liberty was, I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's figure this thing out together. And one of the things I used to do was do 3 questions every show. I'd ask 3 questions and people would email me and they would tell me responses, you know, because they were things that I was interested in the prepping vein that I didn't know about. There was a lot. I didn't know about much of anything back then. I mean, when I think about the learning curve that has happened in the last 6 years of my life, it's really hard to believe. You know, you go from not knowing anything to suddenly being a guy who writes on authority websites on the topic on a daily basis. But that's how quick those things can change in your life. So I thought, this is what I thought. I said, there's a lot of people putting out good information, great information, you know, philosophical discourse, that type of thing. I said, there is something to be said about pondering. There is definitely something to be said about pondering. So maybe it'd be better, and you guys let me know what you think, what if I give you guys questions? Instead of comments, instead of overview, instead of what you get when you come and listen to the I Am Liberty show, what if I posed questions? Maybe one question, maybe a few questions, maybe once in a, 3 mornings out of the week I get on here and do a question or 2 questions or whatever it is that you can then go to work. And while you're doing your job, in the back of your mind, you can sit there and ponder that question. Now, it's not going to be what type of dry food storage should I buy. It's not going to be what kind of weapon should I carry, that type of stuff. I want to pose questions that will make you think about yourself and about how to improve yourself and your situation. Because I don't think we take enough time to really ponder those things anymore in our lives. So today, going off the 4 pillars of the I Am Liberty show, I thought I'd ask one simple question. And I'd love to hear from you. You can respond at Twitter, at I Am Liberty Show. You can respond through the email, iamlibertyshow@gmail.com, if you're interested in doing it that way. But I'd be very interested to know, from a self-sufficiency standpoint, what is one project or one process that you want to change in your life in 2018 to live a more self-sufficient lifestyle? Or what is one project or one process that you are already planning on changing, that's in the works? You know, are you planning on going the route of backyard chickens this year? Are you beefing up the sourcing of your food? Are you taking up hunting so you can get your hands on wild food? I don't know. With self-sufficiency in mind, though, I'd love to know what your project or process is that you're willing to change in 2018, or that you're looking to change in 2018 to live a better and more self-sufficient lifestyle. That's my question. Now, the beauty of this question is you don't have to answer it. It's not a quiz. It doesn't have to show up on my Twitter timeline, Facebook, whatever. It doesn't have to even be emailed to me. I want you to take these questions and I want you to ponder them at your desk, in your meetings, on the toilet, whatever. And they'll get much deeper and much more thoughtful. But to make it easy and to sort of give you the idea of what I'm talking about, I wanted to open it with this one. So think it over and make your moves. You know, really the importance of pondering, I think, is what this little video, or these videos, or whatever we call them, the questions in the morning, they're going to be important for that purpose, right? Because there is something to be said about giving yourself... Sorry, I'm turning right. There is something to be said about giving yourself time to sit down and think about improvements. But I think we'll touch on politics. I think we'll touch on social situations, the whole 9 yards in these questions. All right? Stephen Menking live tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard at prepperbroadcasting.com. If you don't listen to the live show at prepperbroadcasting.com every Wednesday, live, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard, you're missing out on a lot. Tomorrow is the first 2-hour show. I Am Liberty is moving into the realm of a live 2-hour production. Okay? Massive. 2 hours. And we've got a guy who might be able to cover all of that. I also want to let you know that I'm going to be slowly building a resource to really quantify the mass shooting problem in this nation. Ideally, it's going to be a massive supercast featuring some professionals and some experts who can give a better idea of what it is that mass shootings take to stop. What does it really take to stop this mass shooting problem, right? So we know it's not preventable totally, but we also know that it's not as simple as legislation, right? This isn't some play. Well, you'll see in the podcast that it's not some play to get people off gun control. It's just a deeper issue than that, and I want everyone to be able to have a resource, a mega cast that they can sit down and listen to, and when they're finished listening to that mega podcast, might be 6 hours, that they can go, okay, yeah, this is much more complicated than I thought. That's it. News of the day, questions of the day. Be there live tomorrow night, and see you then.